Yes, people, welcome back, welcome back. You don't know another show, bless up on yourself, yeah. I'm going to preview Group B. Yeah, I'm going to preview Group B. This is what this video is all about. Yeah, and me and Daniel going to preview Group B, and also I have a special guest that will join us along. Yeah, he's an Ecuadorian fan. Yeah, he's a La 3 fan. So I'm going to welcome him on the program shortly. But again, they said it's Happy Father's Day, but I don't know it's Happy Parent Day for me. Bless up to all parents and just continue to support your kids. Yeah. Just let me get one thing out. Yes, people. So Group B preview. You don't know, can the Regggae Boyz make it out of this one? Yeah, can the Regggae Boyz make it out of this one? It's going to be it's going to be a hell of a ride to get us out of this group. But I'm very confident. I'm very confident that we can get something out of this group. We see ourselves as big as all the other rest countries in this group, Mexico. I think this is probably one of the best time to be playing in the Mexican team. Watching the Honduran game a while ago with Ecuador, would say, look, we see a lot of weakness in their gameplay. Hopefully, the man himself, Mr. John Wall, and the coach is doing their homework and mirror and garden, looking at the opposition teams, and also, the Venezuelan team, they are not playing any competitive football to the public. They've been training behind the scene for the last 2 weeks. No. So I'm also going to get that information out. Yeah, I'm going to get that information out there, with a journalist, providing the reason for not allowing, for the Venezuelan national team not to be playing any games, the reason for that, but I'm waiting, for my guest, my co-host Daniel, and also the Ecuadorian fan to join us on the video, to break things down, so you guys can get a better understanding as what's really going around with the rest of the countries in Group B. So I have my guest here, get him on the stage. Yes, you can mute the background, Christian, a little bit.
Mute it?
Yeah, you could mute the background a little bit. I'm getting a feedback. Yeah, the background, there's a noise in the background. Can you mute it, please? Yeah, I'm just waiting him to clear that background so, he can join me shortly. Hopefully he can get that really started out real quick. Let's... Christian, the noise. Yeah, the noise in the background, could you just mute it? Do not want the copyright. It's good now? Yeah, I think it's good. You ready? You hearing me? No, I'm not hearing you. You mute.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how you doing? Father's Day, really appreciate for you to take the time out to come on Ricardo Medios and Daniel Football Show to discuss about the La 3, the Ecuadorian national team. Really appreciate it. Happy Father's Day. How is it up there in Boston? I think you mute. You mute.
I clicked it by mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm saying, how is it, man, up there in the Northeast in Boston?
How's the weather in Boston?
Yeah, how is it up there?
Today's nice. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunny and nice, pretty nice.
Yeah, so I was saying, welcome to Ricardo Media House platform and Daniel Football Show. Really appreciate for you to take the time out to come on here and talk to us. I'm previewing the Group B of the Copa America. Yeah, did you watch the game against Honduran national
I did.
team?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So we're going to get into that as well. But you born in Honduras, in Ecuador?
I was born in Ecuador. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, how was it, man? How was it growing up in
well,
Ecuador?
I came to Boston as a kid, so
Yeah. Ah, yeah. So what's the farthest you can go back remembering supporting the that three?
What's the what? The fourth?
Like, how far you can go back remember and support Ecuador national team? What
I
age?
see.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I was always into soccer. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, since I was a little kid, so
So it's an easy transition.
yeah, so pretty much I like the South American world
Football.
of soccer. Yeah,
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to, jump into the video as I'm waiting for my co-host, yeah, Daniel. He's
Okay.
doing a little bit of things behind. So, when you get him, he's going to join us along. But what you think though of, when you think about Ecuadorian football, before we go on, what team you support? Do that tell me you support Barcelona and Ecuador.
They do.
You do support Barcelona.
Oh, you said Barcelona?
Yeah. What team you support local in Ecuador?
Oh, my team. LDU. What do you say that? Liga?
Yeah, in the Liga
La
Premier.
Liga?
Yeah.
Yeah. And ITV Independiente. But it's pretty much the
Independiente.
Liga. Yeah.
Valle Independiente.
Yeah.
I like to watch Emelec, and I work with a few Ecuadorian fans, and a lot of them support LDF Quito and Barcelona, but
Yeah.
I support, the blue and white Emelec. I love to watch Emelec, but Quito, Independiente is a very good team, very good youth program. They have produced a lot of young players throughout their time,
Yeah.
especially they have at least 1/3 of the players that were in the last World Cup squad for Ecuador national team that came from their youth academy. So it's a big football
Yeah.
and feeding factory for the Ecuador national team. So yeah, I'm big of watching South American football. I love watching the Copa Libertadores, the Sudamericana. When I get time, I will watch also, a few club games, in Ecuador. Just I love to watch Barcelona, very good team, but I'm rooting for, Emelec. So I think, yeah, I think we have Daniel in the background waiting for him to set up. Yeah, but moving on again, Copa America. What you think about when you see the Copa America, that Ecuador, this golden generation, man. What you think about this upcoming Copa America?
Before, as in last year, I really had my hopes up. I don't see Ecuador going to the finals.
Yeah,
But as in last year, I did have the thought of hopefully this will be the time.
yeah,
But the question you already asked me, they have an impressive team. The players, they're phenomenal.
yeah, yeah. But what's go?
The
But
lack of the lack of the coach.
yeah, we're going to get
That's
into Felix. We're going
yeah.
to get into Felix Sanchez. No, look, I have seen the criticism that man have gotten over the last year or so since he is the coach of the Ecuadorian national team.
I mean,
It's a tough job to coach the Ecuadorian national team. The last coach that was there, the Argentinian, Gustavo, Alfaro, a very good coach, brought the Ecuadorian team to, a few World Cups. It's very harsh. Now he's coaching the Costa Rican national team here in our region, the CONCACAF,
yeah.
But, you know, you know anything about the Regggae Boyz, man? The Jamaican national team?
A little bit, because
Little bit.
they don't. I mean, my knowledge about your team is pretty limited. And why I say that is because it's not exposed as much as the other games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except when there are important games like with Mexico and so on and so forth, then I get to watch them and follow up with the players. I know some of the players that are in England in the Premier League, which is
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
You know.
What
Um,
what's the preparation like? For the Ecuador national team, probably over the last few years. I know it's been they improving. The federation is improving. More sponsorship. A little bit of support there and there from the government, but I don't know if you could just expand on that a little bit. What's the preparation like over the last few years with the Ecuadorian team? I see them play 3 games already and the Copa is not started as yet.
See, this team is pretty much individual.
Yeah.
It's not what was expected to when they hired the new coach.
Felix.
He has pretty much, to me, he has no idea how to play in South America, literally. I don't know if you saw the game against Argentina. I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
You're gonna play with no forwards? What are you doing against the best team of the world?
That's tough, man. He's from Spain. He probably bringing over that tiki taka football like Pep Guardiola used to play without no strikers. Are the team that the Spaniard one would play in the 4-6 formation, no center forward. It just cannot work in South America. But Christian, this is my co-host. Daniel. Yeah. He's
what's up, man?
He's
nice
like
nice meeting you too, man.
Yeah. But Daniel, we're going, as you were saying earlier, we're going to preview the Group B of the Copa America. Especially, but we're just going to expand a little bit. Just look at the rest of the 3 groups. Group A. With Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada. Daniel. The Albi Celeste, top favorite in the group. Favorite to get the back-to-back. It's been a while since the Albi Celeste haven't won the repeat. 1991, 1993 was the last time they did the repeat. That's over 2 decades ago. Top the favorite. Who will go through in this zone? Behind the Argentinian team. You see, Peru. I guess you want to pull up the group stage on your phone. Peru, Chile, Canada. You pull it up on your phone, but
that's what I'm doing right now to rephrase who is who.
Yeah. So give you guys time to pull it up on your phone.
Argentina. Peru, Argentina, Chile, Canada. I must give it to Peru. I think Peru have been doing good since over the couple of recent years.
Yeah.
I think they went to the 2018 World Cup.
2018 and they missed out against Australia in the playoffs last cycle of the World Cup campaign.
Yeah.
But Chile, they have their players. They have, the usual suspects is still around. I even saw Gary Medel sign for Boca Junior. The man that they call Pitbull. But I mean, Chile, this team have won it back to back before the Albi Celeste won it in 2021. This is still a very good team, a tournament team. Gareca, former Peru coach. So it's going to go down in this zone. Christian, you can shed some light, of your knowledge around the Argentina and Peru, Chile, South American teams.
Well, on that group, I think the Argentina and Chile are gonna pass.
Yeah. I think Chile. I think Chile might edge it. Peru it's kind of a mixed team. Their golden generation has passed their best. I think they are much weaker teams. I think the Chile have a better youth foundation of bringing two young players to add with the mix of the players that's already the journey players. But Canada, Daniel, this is our region. Jesse March, a former Leeds coach, a former RB Leipzig coach. He is a coach. He's still mad of not getting the U.S. men's national team job. Now he's with the Canucks. You see any upset from Jesse Marsh with this Canucks team?
They have been struggling recently. They did really good for the in the last qualification to get to the World Cup, and then from there they have not performed really well. So they have been struggling. They played some very tough friendlies recently. I think
they played against France and Netherlands.
Yeah, and they lose both of those games. So they kind of struggling a little bit. Jesse March is a brilliant coach. He did a really good job Leipzig. Like he did a really good job there, and I don't know. I think Alphonso Davies, not too much.
They have around half of the squad is from MLS.
Yeah, so the quality is just not there. Unfortunately, they're probably gonna finish the group last.
And they will play against the Albi Celeste first. Christian, can the Albi Celeste go back to back in this Copa America?
It's tough because they lost against Uruguay in the pre-qualifiers for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that was a home game in Argentina. Yeah. So Uruguay, they're not what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
They, at the end, if they crash against each other, most likely I would say Uruguay. But
right now,
they got it tough.
I disagree.
But go on, Daniel. Go on.
I think Argentina can turn it up whenever they need to. And they have the experience. Messi is still there, and I think Argentina they start to get into this tournament team. Like they start to get that groove. They finally get it over the line. The last Copa America, so I started to get that feeling that they know how to win. You get what I'm saying? And I know they lose that qualifier, but I just feel like in the Copa America, they're gonna have a lot of support in America as well. So I just expect them to get over the line.
But I think, Christian touched on a very good point. I think, there is a loophole where you can beat this Albi Celeste team. Uruguay have done it in their own ground. So there's just something that always questioning which Argentina team going to turn up, what kind of Lionel Messi you're going to get. But I think, Scaloni, man, very impressive. You have been doing a really good job to get this team together to play alongside Lionel Messi. But it's tough, and Dybala again missed out on another major tournament. Didn't play much in the World Cup, but you have impressive for Roma this season, double figures in assists and goal. But you see any spot where you could probably pinch in Dybala in this team, Daniel?
No, I think Dybala has been very injury-prone player over the years. He just a very unlucky player. I always want him to come at Chelsea, but I just feel like the Premier League was gonna be too physical for him. So unfortunate. I think Dybala. I think his time in the national team might just come to an end.
I think it's might come to an end.
I think he just need to just focus on club football at this point.
Christian, you want to punch in anything on Dybala?
On the what?
You want to say anything on Dybala?
No, I'm good. Okay. I was gonna say before, the line is very thin for Argentina.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like a walk in the park for them. It's not gonna be that easy. And they're vulnerable. They could be just one little mistake and that's it. So they have to be like pretty. It's very thin. Yeah.
We're going to bypass Group B as we're going to do it last. But Group C, we're just running through the three other groups in the Group C of Bolivia, US, Uruguay, and Panama. Look, the last time Bolivia went to the final, it was back when they hosted in La Paz, the altitude, so many years ago. But US, Uruguay, and Panama, obviously, Uruguay going to be the top favorite in this game to go through. But US and home side, US will host the World Cup in 2 years from now alongside Mexico and Canada. They will be looking to provide some certainty about what is to expect from the US men's national team, coming up in 2 years' time. Christian, how good is this US team you've seen over the years?
They played against Colombia. What does that tell you? I'm back in the limbo. I thought they were a solid team. I was like, yeah, USA is gonna come. But after seeing how they played, those childish mistakes they made against Colombia, was it like 2 or 3 goals from the,
childish, ABC mistakes. Daniel, there's always the question mark under Beralta. Is he the right man? Is always this question popping up in the media. How much this team have improved? Like, is that the Colombia game have shown us outside that there is a lot of improvement need, in this US team, especially in that backline. I know that the center half, there's not much experience is there in terms of top quality. I mean, how good is this team into trying to get out of the zone with Bolivia and Panama? How you going?
I think their level is CONCACAF. You have to be real. I think they reached that level where it's just they can dominate CONCACAF, Mexico. I think that's where their level is. That's my thing. I think when they step on the old trying to play a team like Colombia, Brazil. I mean, they did give Brazil a good game, but Brazil on a rebuild at this moment. But I think their level is CONCACAF. Maybe get to the next round. Maybe get to a round of 16 in the World Cup, but anything after that is a stretch. I know America is a big country and people expect them to be doing better, but people need to realize that this team, if you check on the team, maybe this Pulisic is playing as an elite AC Milan, not the best team in the world. No, but I feel like we're pushing it with the US team. To me, we're pushing it. I don't think they're that good. I just don't think they're that good to me.
And they have good players, and it's that.
They have some decent players, Pulisic,
McKennie.
They have some decent players. Yeah.
Tyler Adams. I think Tyler Adams is the engine for that midfield to really compact that midfield.
He just can't stay fit.
Yeah, but he just cannot stay fit. But when I look on the squad, it's all about what Christian Pulisic can do. If Christian Pulisic don't turn up, as they call him, the Captain America, the ship will sink. I mean, we haven't seen much with him where Boligoon, But again, it's all about Christian Pulisic in that attacking third and McKennie, what he can provide in that midfield. Is he strong enough? Is he that talented? Is he that have that elite level of quality that can dominate against the Uruguayan team? They're going to come very hard, And the last time out, the US went to the semi-final. I think they went to the semi-final. They played it in the Centenario where they got beaten by Colombia, 4-0. And again, when you look on this zone, if they finish in second spot, they can play the Colombia team again, which is an impressive run, which continue to over 20 games unbeaten. They're going to play the second and the first place in Group D, which is Brazil. So, I mean, it's tough for them. It's very tough. But your prediction, Christian, from Group C, who you think, will make it out of the zone and who you think can create some problem? Can the Bolivian team create some noise in the zone?
And Group C, I think it's going to be Uruguay first, and the fight is going to be between USA and Panama. And they're playing as we speak, and they're losing 1-0.
Panama,
yeah, against Paraguay.
Daniel, look, Panama team is where Thomas Christiansen picked up this team probably 3-4 years ago. It's unbelievable, the turnaround. Seeing they went to World Cup. They have good players, but again, it's how quick he turned the team around in terms of getting an identity of what the Panamanian team is all about. I think Panama can create some noise, and I think Panama, if they want, or if their best possible chance to go through the zone, I think they have to get something from their CONCACAF rival, the US and also Bolivia. They have to beat Bolivia. They have to beat Bolivia, and they have to get something from the Uruguayan game if they drop points against Bolivia and US. But I see Panama can make some noise. Don't be surprised you see the US team finish third if Panama can actually get that spot over them, But moving on to the last group, before we move on to Group B, Group D, Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. It's like all these groups have a CONCACAF teams, You said, Daniel, Brazil is on a rebuilding process, Paraguay. There's nothing much, from Romero and Almiron. There's not much from this Paraguayan team. It's a very young team, but this group is all about what Brazil and Colombia is going to do in this zone, many people see both teams will finish 7-7 and points coming out of this group. They don't see the two teams beat each other. But Christian, yeah, you agree with me? Brazil
Yeah,
and Colombia.
yeah, I agree, bro. Colombia first, then Brazil.
Colombia for so you say Colombia will finish ahead of Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
That will be
Then again, Brazil is Brazil. When they play, they can just score. They can change the whole game at the last minute. That's their typical thing. But the way it looks right now, I think Colombia they have shown more work.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
They have more chemistry in the same team than the others. In Brazil, they're still on the unknown. Some of them,
Yeah.
and they just walk on the field. They're talented, but they're not. They don't have that closeness as Colombia. So I'm gonna say that probably Colombia is gonna be first, then Brazil, Paraguay, then Costa Rica, I guess.
Yeah. Daniel, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Colombia gonna edge it. I think, as he said, they have been playing together for a while. They have chemistry. With this new Brazil team now, it's a lot of new players, and they still trying to work out what kind of team there is. Brazil, new coach as well. So
Darville.
Yeah. So I think Brazil right now, I would think this coming in second would be
because
still
don't forget, Colombia, beat Brazil at home, in Bogota, 2-1 when they have scored more goals, it's catastrophe right now is what really going on in Brazilian football. Christian, did you I heard of the comments that, Ronaldinho Gaucho made on the current state, what's going on around Brazilian football? Did you see? No. I heard of it. It's no identity, no passion, no fight, it's just lack of commitment, toward the players, but it's the way how he delivered that message, I think.
And he's saying that he's not gonna watch the Copa
and he said
America.
He's not going to watch any Copa America game whatsoever the Brazil team will play, so I think it's a very harsh criticism, and I think he can critique the team, but again, you have to just be careful how you critique, because remember 2006, Ronaldinho failed. He had failed numerous times in Copa America, with some big teams, so and he came under a lot of pressure, so I think, if you're going to criticize the team, let's do it positive and support your national team, because back in his playing days, he have always wanted to support. He have always said Brazilian people should support each other. So I don't know what's this nonsense now of saying, and I could understand where he's coming from. Few years, the Brazil team have lacked a lot of identity. Neymar Jr. is probably the last world-class beat I ever come from that national team. So you have players there that have the potential to get right where the best Brazilian teams played in the World Cup 20 years ago. But I mean, Daniel, I have a question. Costa Rica, US, Mexico, Jamaica, Panama, and Mexico. Which CONCACAF team you see probably would go the farthest in this Copa America? You think you have the best opportunity? Let me break it down. So from the Canada, I think I said Mexico twice. Canada. So Canada in Group A, they can face someone in the Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Jamaica zone. Meanwhile, the US have the zone that, the Brazil, that they can face Brazil. US and Panama have, Brazil and Colombia to face in the other zone. But what team you would say probably equipped the most, are probably the most talented bunch of players that you've seen, with squad in the CONCACAF that can really go the deepest?
All of those scenarios is very tough. Very tough. But
tough.
I'm gonna be a little bit biased. I think Jamaica have the best pathway to get.
Yeah.
If we can just get some results, because I don't think we're gonna face enough. Are we gonna face? Is it the Argentina group?
Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada. So
damn. So if we come second,
it's the
we're
race
gonna play Argentina.
in Group B, Christian. In Group B, it's the race to finish first. Everyone have the Albe Celeste to finish first in Group A, and once you finish first in Group A, you will face the runner-up in Group B. So it's the race to finish and top in Group B. I mean,
you don't face We are expect that Argentina gonna be coming first.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah. That's a given. Yeah. No questions asked.
That's a given. Chile, Peru.
So you don't want to face Argentina at all.
Yeah.
Until maybe semi-final.
Yeah.
Final.
But folks, if you new, remember, to subscribe to both channels, Nicardia Media House and Daniel Football Show, and also like the video, appreciate it. Just like the video, really appreciate it. But Christian, we're going to go in the group that we are here for. We are here to break down, and give our honest opinion. Yeah. We take any criticism, as it's football reasoning. Yeah. Group B, Mexico, Jamaica, Ecuador, and Venezuela. Yeah. Before I go any further, Christian, what team you take from this zone that will create an upset that most people wouldn't be looking at? What team have that shot? Will be that dark horse in this group?
Well, first of all, and with all due respect to everyone in this particular group B,
Ecuador is a favorite in this group.
Yeah, I mean, as a South American, I can have my opinion because everyone in South America, they want Ecuador and Venezuela for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because they're from South America, right?
Yeah. So fair point.
It becomes tough because I believe more in Jamaica than Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Mexico has really no team. I don't not for anything, but like I said, with all the respect, I don't really like that team at all.
Yeah.
However, this goes to the other side of the hand. This hand is telling me Jamaica is really, 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 really good. Okay.
Yeah.
And they came in. Hopefully, they will beat. Hopefully, everyone will beat Mexico because I don't really like them. They're just too much talk. Yeah. So that'll probably finish last. So the real fight is gonna be between the other 2-3, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Jamaica.
My question.
That's gonna be the fight.
My question to you, I know you watch more South American qualifiers and games. How good is the Venezuela team? And
they're really good.
They're really good.
I compare it the three. That's what I said. The three teams because all three are very physical.
Yeah.
Venezuelan too, and they have their coaches Argentina, and the way how he moves the players.
Yeah.
It's really smart. He's really smart.
Yeah.
Batista, the coach from Venezuela. I know you be here Venezuela or they always finish us, but this team nowadays, they go 1-1 with Ecuador. They tie the game 0-0. I think it was in Venezuela last time, so it was really tough.
Christian, can you translate something for me? I want to play something. You can translate after the audio is finished into English. All right. So just give me 1 second. Let me get the audio. So you asked the question, Daniel, how good is this Venezuelan team? Antonio Pena, journalist from Venezuela, have sent me a clip. He just sent me a clip of, he's watching the show. So he sent me a clip. So can you translate after the clip is finished, Christian?
Sure.
All right. So let's listen to the audio.
Sí, creo que individualmente Venezuela hoy en día tiene mucho de dónde escoger, específicamente la zona más fuerte de la Vinotinto es el centro del campo, con un Yángel Herrera que hizo una temporada histórica con el Girona en España, van a jugar Champions League, con un Jefferson Soteldo por allí que está haciendo las cosas de la mejor manera en Copa Libertadores, también en el Brasileirao, Cristian Cáceres Jr. que hace vida en el Toulouse de Francia, donde jugó más de 40 partidos, la mitad o más de la mitad como titular, donde también pudo jugar Europa League y con la selección también está consagrado. José Brujo Martínez, que juega en la MLS y que jugó terreno. Telasco Segovia, que lo vimos en el preolímpico haciendo muy bien las cosas y luego con su equipo en Portugal. Entonces sí, es...
So you can just expand on that, what he's saying.
What he was saying, obviously he mentioned some of the players.
Yeah, he mentioned Casares Jr. You have mentioned
Soteldo. He's really good. Brazil. He plays in Brazil. Soteldo. He's really good. He's really
Soteldo,
good. You gotta watch out for this guy. He's very quick.
Yeah.
Now he said one of the strengths from Venezuela is the midfield.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
I totally agree with that. You know, the midfield is very strong. It's a very good midfield.
They have well structured the midfield and the defense too. So that's what I said. It's really tough. It'll be really tough to go bypass them because they have a good midfield.
They have a very good coach. You know, Fernando Baptista. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you look at it, Christian. This Venezuelan team is not playing no friendly games.
Right. I noticed that. Yeah, I know.
Why?
They didn't play.
I have the clip. I'm going to get to that shortly. I have the clip to tell you guys. You know, but let's listen to the last few seconds of the audience. So listen again, Christian, to translate for the audience.
Centro del campo es la zona más nutrida que tiene Venezuela y donde más material puede sacar para hacerle frente a este torneo. Y bueno, lo de Salomón Rondón es incuestionable, un tipo que tuvo su segunda juventud en México, que fue campeón de la Conca Champions, que se salió por completo siendo máximo goleador tanto de la Liga Mexicana como de este torneo continental, que se clasificó al Mundial de Clubes con Pachuca y que sin duda es el goleador histórico de la Vinotinto y que tienen que ponerle una marca personalizada en ese partido, específicamente Jamaica, porque se les puede complicar muchísimo un tipo como Salomón Rondón atacando y mostrando su físico en el área.
Christian, he said something with Salomon Rondon with Jamaica. What exactly he said?
That Jamaica is the team that he has the attributes and to you know, basically they gotta beat Jamaica.
He's powerful, he's strong.
They're hoping Rondon is gonna be the key player for in that match. Yeah. And again, I agree with that because if you look at him physically, the guy's strong and he's talented.
Yeah, he scored loads of goals in Liga MX. You know, he's the leading goal scorer in CONCACAF Champions League. They beat Columbus. They go into the Club World Cup. You know, so he's actually on fire. You know, this is a very good Salomon Rondon that they actually want to see over the years. You know, I think they haven't seen it since the West Brom days in the English Premier League. You know, but he has said something earlier.
So, you know, so I guess the homework for Jamaica will be how to decipher the midfield. From Venezuela. Yeah. And that's gonna be a tough because you know, and they pretty much are gonna try to control the gap in the midfield.
All right. Yeah. So, Danny, I said, you know, if you guys know of the reason of why the Venezuela national team is in the friendly games or whatsoever, you know, they have been practiced behind closed door, no media, just their own administration, their own cameramen, and this is what, you know, Antonio Pena said.
Well, the decision not to play friendly matches before the Copa America was not a matter of not being achieved, but rather that about 5 or 6 important players came with physical burdens. Therefore, I believe that the coach did not want risking them. He wanted to keep them low profile under the magnifying glass, seeing them in training day by day, and also because he wanted to concentrate the entire group for a longer time, thus creating a more compact idea of the game. And Venezuela has always been characterized because in the short tournaments always make good tournaments, and the closer the players are together, the longer the players are together, the more the idea of the game is compacted and understood. These are the 2 reasons why Venezuela did not play friendlies before the Copa America.
Daniel, very interesting one. You know, the coach, he want that togetherness. You know, he want the team to have that understanding. You know, like you fascinated about what this coach is doing with this Venezuelan team. Is it something that, you know, going to have lack of game time on the pitch, or it's going to work out for their best ability for everyone to be on the same page as what Fernando Baptista wants from the Venezuelan players?
I mean, it could be 50-50. It could be the risk, not playing competitive games, getting competitive minutes in the league, and it could be something really different. You know, keep the ideas in the camp and work on tactics more. You get what I'm saying? And players get less injuries. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's something new, and I believe this will be something new going forward. Like, they're gonna see teams start to do this going forward, because I feel like with the new modern days, a lot of players start getting injured. You get what I'm saying? Playing these friendly games can get these players injured, but this is something new. and I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to see how they bring out their game plan and the game, and I can't wait to see how they play.
Christian, over to you. What you take from the interview that Antonio just said?
That's yeah, like Dan saying, that's a 50-50 situation, because the purpose of having friendly games is to see who is who at that very moment, and learn from those mistakes prior to the competition. Especially if there's new team members. How do they gonna get along?
He said in the first phase, he said that 6 players came in the camp with a lot of burden. They have a lot of games under their belt, so he want the key players to be rested. And then he don't want just maybe I'm just saying, maybe resting the key players didn't want to play his weaker team with other national teams, or he just don't. And he said very one thing he said he don't want his team to get scouted, so he want to keep everything indoor. And whenever people see this Venezuelan team, it's going to be a very good team to beat. But Christian, as you said, the Carnival qualifiers, I think they're 5th or 6th, 5th. They're 5th, right ahead of Ecuador.
No, they're 4th.
4th. So they're in 4th and Ecuador is in 5th.
5th, yeah.
Yeah, so very good team, But move on though from a little bit away from Venezuela, to you, Latry, Ecuador. I mean, tell me what is really going on with Felix Sanchez, the coach at the dugout? What's really happening? Why the Ecuadorian people are so harsh on this coach of saying a lack of identity? The team is not playing with no passion. He's with a golden generation. He's not getting the best of the players. And when you look, if there's no Ena Valencia, Jorge Caicedo, Rodriguez, there's no goals for him.
Well, I'm really sad personally. Let's get started from that, because Ecuador they have very good players, very talented players. Probably it's probably the best team than ever that this life has given us. And to bring a coach that has literally no substance of knowledge of how the game is played in South America, he's basically killing the team. And I somewhat blame the political issues when I say political, I mean the sport. Maybe they try to save some money. They hired the worst coach from the last World Cup. What does that tell you? When you have quality players, elite players, you bring the worst coach. What the hell? What are they doing? So
when I was scrolling through the comments of the Argentinian post, a lot of people were calling for him to get sacked. A lot of people said, look, Jorge Sampaoli, the former Chilean national team coach, is out there available. Why not go get him? Did you heard of what?
I heard that there were names. There were some names. I don't know if money was an issue. So that might be one I think to consider. Because they still had to pay Alfaro. They didn't play. I think they didn't fully pay them from
Alfaro, the previous coach.
Yeah, previous coach. Yeah. So
that was contract issues. It was contract issues why he left.
Because Gareca was supposed to was on the list too. And he didn't accept the contract. He didn't accept the contract because he said I'm not gonna take over a team who's or actually because Ecuador hasn't fully paid the previous coach.
Yeah.
So he didn't sign up for the contract. I guess they resolved those issues, and the worst coach from Qatar came in, and here's where we are.
Felix Sanchez is getting over $800,000 a year at the Ecuador national team.
Yeah, so
Gustavo's asking for a slightly smaller piece of that pie, and they didn't give it to him. But they gave it to Felix Sanchez. Who's coming from Qatar. He's a Spaniard. So I don't know. I mean, so as you said,
they probably were under the impression because of he's worked in Barcelona. When I say Barcelona, Spain. With the young kids, and he made some miracle here and there as years ago. They might think, that's gonna, he's gonna reply the same, or he's gonna give the top of that much of quality for the team, the Ecuadorian team, which it hasn't happened yet. She's just experimenting with the players, pretty much a lab.
Over a year, but But Daniel, when you look on the midfield, Moises Caicedo, Kendrick Paez, in the World Cup qualifiers, both players have created 15 chances for the Ecuadorian team combined together and have over 545 touches, in all the games that they played. Caicedo played in all 6 games. Kendrick have played in, I think, five and came on in 1. How Jamaican can stop this midfield, because everything Ecuador doing at midfield is all about Kendrick Paez going forward and Moises Caicedo, keeping that aggression, that drive in the midfield.
Yeah,
that's important. That's tough too. They're pretty much similar like Venezuela. Our midfielders. This is the strongest part of the whole team. In the defense too, we lack of offense. That's a given. Yeah. But it's gonna be really tough to penetrate that wall through the midfield towards the goal. It's gonna be tough because they're pretty solid, and not because collectively speaking, because of the players are really good.
Yeah, Daniel, you can expand.
Yeah, I think Christian is right. I think Ecuador midfield wise, defense wise, they have some very good quality. They're just missing that number 9 to put the ball in the back of the net.
Very good. Yeah.
Just Valencia can come in and do a job, but he's getting a little old. But he still can do a little job. But
you give him the opportunity, he will score.
Yeah, he will score.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to do a really good job and try to close on Kendrick Paez, the new Chelsea man. We really gonna have to try to shut down. And I must say, Caicedo, he playing a little bit more offensive when he played for Ecuador.
Yeah, there's someone behind him when he's playing. Yeah. Is it either Christian? You can back me up on this. Is it Franco or Cruzio play behind Caicedo?
Franco.
Is Franco?
Yeah, Franco. Yeah,
Franco. I don't really understand why the coach is using Franco when there's better players. That's what I'm saying. Like what this guy is doing, man.
Yeah,
he plays in with Argentina. I'm like, you need more physical strength and the midfield. And what do you use Franco to play with Caicedo? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Ena Valencia, he's going to be the vocal point.
He's going to be
85 appearances, 41 goals for the national team. But my biggest critique about the Ecuadorian team, when I watch the 3 games, I only watched the first half of the game that they just played against Honduras. Yeah, but I watched all 3 games. They play Argentina, Bolivia, and Honduras. Lose 1 and 1-2. Look, hear me out on this. This is the stats that I gather from the 3 friendly games that they played. So in total, passes, they have 1,388 passes in total, right? But 23% of all those passes came in the offensive era, and 53, which is 740 passes came in their own defensive era. So there's something there to tell me that this team is not pulling the ball faster. They're not moving forward enough. They're willing to play the ball in their defensive third, and that attract a lot of pressure. Why Argentina, have pressured them a lot in that game. Mistakes again in the back. Christian, you can expand on that. You see that slow build up from this Ecuador is not the quickest going out. And again, Preciado on the right side. Is it Preciado or Hurtado, though right back? Again, they easily can get caught out of position. And they have 2 young left back that, Ecuador have problem on the left hand side. The new player Porozo and Micolta, 9 caps between them. Inexperience, when you look on that left hand side, can we put a Cephas on that side and try to create problem with his speed? But I mean, expand on that you see the build up and the identity of the Ecuadorian team, Christian. What I just
I guess what the coach was trying to do on that particular game, he was basically using all the players and to see who is who.
Yeah.
And to go back, I guess one of the priorities for Ecuador is to always keep the ball, control the ball. You keep the ball, you control the game.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're moving offense or whatever you have. I guess that's one of the priorities for them.
But Christian, 23% in the offensive half and 53% in your own defensive half. That's not good enough.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. But then again, the players were not. He was trying new players. You know, Incapié, the real players are going to be in the World Cup. They weren't sitting on the bench. So out of that, well, the plus on that game is because he realizes that the two forwards, which is Sarmiento and what's the other kid's name?
Who?
John Jaboa.
Uh-huh.
Now he came to realize that and those positions forward on the left and right wings, is his best bet. After so many tryouts, I guess that's what he came out from, as a conclusion from that game.
Yeah.
And Minolta, there's a couple of players that are pretty new. He just gave him some minutes. Minolta, I never heard of that kid.
Is he playing in Liga MX? Is that one playing?
MX, yeah, I think it's an MX, yeah.
And the other one is playing in Turkey. Peroso,
yeah, I think so.
I think he's playing in Turkey. But this Ecuadorian team, the average age is 25. Only 4 players in their 30s in this squad, and only 2 outfielders players in the squad is over 30, which is Mena and Ena Valencia. And then the 2 goalkeepers, Dominguez and Galindez is over 30 years old. But still very good squad, young squad. The backline, there's issue. It's a very inexperienced. The player from Peru, from Bayer Leverkusen, he's going to be one of the most experienced players in the backline. There was a guy, he got left out of the squad. He played in Brazil. I think it's Corinthians. I don't remember his name. I think
defense? Arboleda?
Yeah. Huh?
Arboleda, he plays in Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, he got left out of the 26-man squad.
Yeah. Because of
I was expecting him to see in the squad, because of his experience. But again, let's see what's going to happen with this Ecuadorian team. But expectation moving forward. What you expect? Quarterfinal, semi, final.
Well, I don't.
It's a tough one.
I think pretty much to wrap it up, I'm gonna be quick on this. Group A: Argentina and Chile. Group C, my opinion, Uruguay, Panama.
Yeah.
Group D, Colombia, Brazil. And Group B, that's a tough one because, like I said, that could be Ecuador, Venezuela, or Jamaica.
Yeah.
That's I just feel like I'm gonna pull a pigeon out of my hat. I don't know.
Question to you, for you, Christian. How highly do you rate Kendrick Perez?
Kenji Paez.
How high?
Yeah, how highly you rate him?
Out of 10, 1 out of 10, I'd say he's right now at 8.7. He's a talented kid.
You can make it to the top?
Yeah, he's a talented kid. Yeah.
I think
that's the problem with the coach. He's using him. If you see his body built, he's a young. He's young obviously, but he's a skinny. He's a slender. How in the world are you gonna put Kendry in front of the Argentina machines to play as a forward by himself?
He was doing it against the Paredes, all these players. Yes.
So those are the stupid things that the coach makes sometimes.
Yeah.
But
in the second half, he kind of pushed him to the wide right, and he kind of drifted in.
Correct. And he brought Valencia.
Actually getting into the game at that time.
And he brought Valencia, the big dog. Now it kind of changed a little bit, the situation. You know what I mean? So going back to Kendrick Paez, the kid is going to go to Chelsea next year.
Yeah.
Straight to Chelsea next year.
But, Daniel, it's all important, for the Regggae boys, to get a positive start in all 3 games, because, look, these 3 teams that we're going to come up against, it's quick firing team. If you start the game bad, it's hard to recover. It's hard, especially in the first game coming up on the weekend against Mexico. When you let them start the game positive, when you let the Ole start to come out, when you let the fans start to go the Mexican way, when you let the players them start to having their own time on the ball, that's when you find yourself in problem. But again, all these 3 teams, their strongest point of their team is the midfield. The Jamaica team, their weakest point of the team is the midfield. So how can we get out of the blocks real quick, like a lightning, to get a positive start? Because we need goals. And we need goals.
Right, but you have to keep up the structure throughout the game.
Yeah. You know,
and like you said, now let me ask you guys a question. How do you? What's the weakest and what's your strength?
Our weakest is the midfield. You know, we don't really have a Kendrick Payet, someone that can play number 10 and create, and we don't have that Moise Caicedo, someone that can get on the ball, someone that who is brave enough to drive the team forward. You know, someone that can settle the game on their own pace, on their own rhythm. I think we don't have that, you know, in our midfield. So going into these 3 group games, that's going to be a tough battle. You know, coming up against Caraces Jr., come up against Yangel Herrera for Venezuela, coming up against, you know, either Franco, Caicedo in the midfield. Mexico, you're going to have, you know, Edson Alvarez, you know, Luis Chavez, Luis Romo. You're going to have these players, you know, so it's going to be a very tough task. And the strongest, you know, is our game in the transition, you know, sit deep, waiting for the attacking team to make a mistake and get on the counter. You know, the Regggae is one of our strongest outlets where we can get the ball 1v1. You know, another player, you know, Ronaldo Cephas, you know, very quick. You know, so I think, you know, athleticism and how we can get out of the blocks real quick in transition is one of our big strengths. And, you know, probably weak point again, you know, the strikers. We don't really get much goals from our strikers in major tournaments. You know, Mikel Antonio did not score in the Gold Cup last summer. You know, Shaman Nichols missed loads of opportunities. So we need to strike. But, I mean, overall, it's a very good team, you know, defensively. You know, don't expect to see a Regggae Boy team that's going to probably press all the way up into the opposition defensive third. You know, low block, mid block, and wait for the opponent. You know, but Daniel, I was asking you a question about, you know, the importance of getting a very good start for all 3 games because, as I said, if you let these Spanish teams get in their rhythm and get in their flow, it's hard to recover.
Yeah.
Right. Especially I think.
Hold on, Christian. This one is for Daniel. Hold on.
Yeah. No. I was gonna say that. Yeah, these team defense very good, very physical, and if you go behind in this heat, it's gonna be very hot as well in this time. So you have to be very careful going behind, and these teams can know how to play very defensively and tactically. And they're very people don't know this. People think it's the African region is physical. South American is very physical. They play very dirty. Yeah,
the attitude.
They're very physical players and they play dirty. So we have to start fast. We can't be laps.
Yeah.
Starting the game slow. We have to get as the game starts. We have to be up to the pace. Or else we're gonna be far right behind.
Yeah.
I want to add to what you said. I think for Jamaica, I think they if they are fast enough, you know, that would be the ideal. And then keep the order on the players.
Yeah.
You know, because when you start opening spaces and locking off certain areas, then that's when it probably is gonna be some stuff to be done against Jamaica. You know, keep always the order in the back and the midfield always, and that's what I remember a couple of games that I might have seen before. You know, you leave those openings, and then you know the players don't catch up and they don't come back again, and you know everything gets disorganized.
Yeah,
and that'll hurt if that it does not cover.
You said, you know, Daniel, you have to leave an hour mark. Is it time?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. You know, bless up. You know, enjoy the time with your family. You know.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Respect, Christian.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, man.
So, Christian, it's just us for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. You know, you're expanding on something, but someone in the comment have said Jamaica will have to play with heart to get. So, you know, we even also, you know, the Ecuadorian team, they can't take anyone lightly. You know, they have to come and play their game because every team will want the 3 points.
Right. I guess when that person said to play with heart, what it comes to my mind is psychologically speaking, how the Regggae boys feel if they said Ecuador, Venezuela scores the first goal.
Yeah,
that's gonna be that. I mean, you cannot break down from there. You have to keep, you know. That's what I would question them. I mean, how strong you guys are psychologically speaking.
Yeah, you know, we're not very good there. You know, we're not very good there. Whenever we come up against tough teams, even when you look in the Gold Cup semi-final when the Mexican they scored, I think they scored in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
You look at the body language of the players. It's like what's next? You know, it's what's next. But then that's the first tournament, you know, for the coach. So, you know, looking into this tournament, look at how we played in the Nations League, you know, building up to the quarterfinals, the semi-final, the third and fourth place game. I think there's improvement, you know, and then the coach would have more experience of how to deal with this bunch of players. And going behind with one of these three teams in our group, it's going to prove where this coach is at the level. He's going to prove his leadership of the team. He's going to prove his man management skills of how he's going to rally the players on the pitch. You know, get behind them, and then it's going to provide the players on the pitch, the experienced players to actually get the team back to where it's supposed to be. And it's important the team have a structure of, if we go behind against Mexico coming now on the weekend, what's next? Is it that if we go behind in the first 20-30 minutes, is that we're going to keep our shape and hold the game and wait until the second half? And then you do not want to waste too many times on the back foot watching the opponent team come at you. You know, how long you going to wait? You know, so things like that, you know, the leadership on and off the pitch is going to be very key.
Very important, right?
Tournament. Yeah, it's going to be very key for us. Experienced players like, you know, Ethan Pinnock play for Brentford, you know, Nana Lowe, you know, play for Philadelphia, you know, Mikel Antonio. He's going to have to lead from the front. But again, I'm saying, as much as our midfielders don't create a lot, our wingbacks don't provide a lot of opportunity crossing here, because Ecuador, last 6 games that they played, they averaged 13 crosses per game. So they create from the midfield, what I told you, 15 chances Kanje Paez and Caicedo created in their World Cup campaign so far, both combined together, and 13 crosses coming from the wingback position. So you could see they have a different type of caliber where they create more flexibility in their creative style of play. You know, so us, we're going to have to be flexible as well as the South Americans and the Mexicans. You know, I mean, don't know if you want to expand, but the Ecuadorian team, though, I said it, 84, you know, caps for Ena Valencia, 41 goals. When you look behind, is it Kevin Rodriguez?
Kevin,
and
the other one. Yeah, he's been injured. Yeah, and Jordi Caicedo, yeah.
Jordi, you know, I think he played in Liga MX for Atlas. You know, when you look, they scored around 3 to 4 goals combined for the national team. Where the goal is going to come from? Ecuador have only scored, I think, 5. Is it 5 goals or 8 goals?
Well, my hopes are in the
I think you have scored 5 goals in the World Cup qualifiers. You scored 5 goals in the qualifiers. 5 goals you have scored in 6 games. Where the goal is going to come from if Ena Valencia is not provided? You side at Qatar, Ena Valencia scored. That's it. The team shot dead. Where the goals are coming from?
Yeah.
Team.
As I said before, that's the weakest part of the Ecuadorian team, the offense. You know, someone's going to have to come in and be creative. The wingman, someone in the midfield. You know, even in today's game against Honduras, Hincapié was the one who scored the second goal. You know.
Yeah, that late goal that you guys scored. You know, defender. A defender.
The defender scoring goals. Imagine that. You know.
You know, but one of my, you know, my said, you know, Black River said we are very good against top class team, have a lot more focus playing in good teams. That's another thing, you know, I can say. When we play the teams that, you know, really at top level, we have that sense of humor where it's like we have that spark, you know, to try to get over the line. We have that level of focus. We have that understanding in each other. It's like you don't want to lose a game. But when you go into weaker teams, like we play Dominican Republic and Dominica in our first 2 World Cup qualifiers, we do not played very good. You understand? So when we go against these top teams, again, it based on the coach philosophy. This coach have gotten the best out of the defenders so far, but not yet for the offensive team. So he have done his part. They said defense win you title. So I hope we can actually, get our defense on top part in this group and actually hope for the best that our attackers can get us goals, So that's another thing that we really play good. We play good against Panama, the US. One game I think we didn't really play well. And I think that was the game that we got beaten by the Mexican in the semi-final of the World Cup. We did not play really well in that game. For some reason, I don't know if that we considered too early and just gave up the Mexican too much space. And then, we kind of get out of the block, out of our shell a little bit. So we create more space behind. So and then they just run a rampage all over us, But, I mean, you have anything you have to say before we wrapped up?
No, I guess we pretty much have a nice conversation, and like I told you before, let the best team win.
Let the best team win. You
with
play Venezuela.
With the heart.
You play Venezuela on Saturday. First, you played 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then after the big showdown, Jamaica versus Mexico. It's going to be a very good game, man. It's going to be a very good game. It's going to be a very good game. Did I ask you about about the Regggae boy? I think we kind of expanded in the first part when we just started to talk about. You said we have players in the Premier League. We have.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear from you guys is that there was a little bit of lack of organization because some of the players would not come in, and you guys, from what I heard. I don't know how true that is. They were having difficulties traveling coming here to the States for the tournament. And that's kind of like, kind of sad, but
look, we played our last game last week Sunday against Dominica. In our World Cup qualifier, we haven't played there since, and we haven't trained since. I think the coach have said he's going to give the players a little moment, vacation, time off with their family, So I don't know, man. I don't know, but I wish we could do something what Venezuela is doing. The coach Fernando understand what it's going to take, to get something from this group stage. So he's doing his best of his ability, working on the players individually, working on them on the pitch closely. Resting his big key players, So let's see where, this is going to prove to us, Regggae Boyz fan out there, that where this team is at the moment. It's going to provide an understanding of where we are when it comes down to the big teams around the world. And again, it's going to prove of the coach, of his standard. How good is he coming up against some very good coach, So I think when you look in this group stage, all 4 teams, I think Fernando Baptista, the Argentinian, I think he's the most technician of coach in this group. Jamie Lozano, not much of, but he's under a lot of uncertainty.
See, this is what I was aiming to before. If you have good players and you have a good coach, man, that's it. I mean, some of us, I mean, they got good players, but the coach is not there. So what do you expect? Venezuela, they had good players and they had a tremendous coach. So they are really,
It seems like you remember when they went on a run in 2011, they came fourth. Yeah, they came fourth in the Copa America. That was their best ever run. I remember even the last Copa, they played with their C team because they couldn't get a lot of their players because of the COVID. That and they to get in of Brazil, a lot of them, not going to have the travel advisor to go back to their club team. They are going to miss so much football for their club team, so they decide to go with a local team from Venezuela, and they didn't do well. But I think Venezuela, I think they're coming. I think they're coming, as Antonio Pineda said. Soteldo, he's going to be that man. And I think, what's his name? That played for Montreal. The striker Martinez. He's not in the squad.
I don't know. I don't know if he's in it. I don't know. I saw
him
him
in
in the previous tournament.
I did not see him in the squad.
I'm not really sure. I haven't really.
Yeah,
I haven't even looked at the list from Venezuela.
I only see Salomon Rondon in the squad as that top striker. But again, it's how Ecuador, Mexico, and Jamaica are going to deal with the presence of Salomon Rondon. He's a very strong, powerful striker. So I mean, everyone in this group have their flaws. Everyone have their strength that they're going to work on, and they're going to work also on their weakness. But Christian, look, glad you take the time out, to join me here. It's really, really good talk with you. To expand on what's going around in Ecuadorian football, and what to come in the group stage coming on Saturday. Both of our national team play. You guys play Venezuela, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we play Mexico an hour later after the game finish at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're not free, welcome, back on the show, to break down the game on Saturday, what happened, late Saturday night. But, again, I really appreciate the time out, man. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Your last word.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you. It's a pleasure. An honor being here with you. And anytime you just, send me a message and I'm here and let's have fun.
Who is this? David Cardenas. You know this person?
Oh yeah, it's my brother.
It's your brother. Yeah. So,
I sent him the link.
He support?
Huh?
He said about Emelec?
No.
I thought you said he support Emelec because I said okay.
Nah. He better now.
Yeah, but yeah, Christian, I'm going to wrap up,
Okay.
Thanks for having you. Really appreciate it. It's a pleasure again, see you soon. Hope it don't take long. Hopefully on Saturday we can break on the game together.
Definitely. We'll do this again. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah, salute. So people, I brought, fun to come and here to discuss, I was expecting to get a Mexican, but you don't know, it is Father's Day, unavailable, family time and all of that. But, I'm doing my best, to get people on here, to discuss about their national team. I want you guys to be hearing what is going on around our group stage, as it's going to be a very important. I think, look, the Regggae Boyz, this is a massive opportunity for us. We cannot get it any better to do some damage in this Copa America. Yeah. Ecuador have their flaws. Venezuela, we don't know what they're going to do. Mexico, this is the best time for us to really, really get something from this game against Mexico. I think the last time we beat them, it was again in the semi-final. I think it was in Phoenix, Arizona, when Taxi Lawrence scored that beautiful. I think that was that beautiful free kick, something like that. But let's see what's going to happen. Coming on Saturday. But people, really appreciate everyone joining me. Yeah, going to sign out. Bless up.